Okay, I'm ready. Hello. I'm back again. Got a little sawdust on my t-shirt because I was trying to fix this up a little bit in between some of these talk we're having here. But I want to talk to you about some really collectible stuff that you saw. It was like, well, that don't look that great, but it's the story that went with it. A long time ago, before we had canvases, or we can buy canvas, you know, that you paint on, or even big pieces of paper. Some of the guys would make things, you know, like they would make a painting of something, but they didn't have like art stuff. They didn't have canvases, they didn't have big paper. Like I said, no canvas, no paper. Nothing to really paint on, but they were really artists. So you don't see these, but only in the museum or somebody that's a real high collector that will collect these because they're very collectible if you can find them. So back when, whatever we found, and we're just sitting around not doing anything. Up there's really not a lot to do, you know. So, but artwork and stuff like that, they're trying to make a living. So some of the guys would find the strangest stuff to draw on or paint on, and they didn't realize that 50, 60 years later that was a really highly collectible thing, because back then it was, well, not really anything. So sometimes when a home, an old mobile home from the 60s or whatever, it would fall apart, and some guys would go in there and they would find things to paint on. Doors, bathroom doors, or they would cut it out, or even ceiling panels, you know, they looked like canvas back then or not. And they would paint on them. Those kind of artwork are long, long gone. You have to run into one and so he's a collectible. But I want to show you one here that's a real collectible, and he took a cabinet door off an old mobile home back in the day. And then what he did was he painted on this cabinet door that was on this mobile home, and then he just put it away, or it just sat in somebody's house for years and years and years, until once in a while I would run into this stuff when I go up there, and people would tell me, you want to buy this? And because they'll sell to whoever has any money, you know. So I saw it and I said, oh man, yeah, I want this. At first I heard stories about it. I really never saw one, you know, only in the museum, but I have one here. This is a cabinet door. You can see this is a cabinet door that went on a cabinet of an old mobile home. And on this he painted he painted 4 Katchinas. But if you look at it, you look at each Katchina, they look the same. But once you start looking at these Katchinas, they're not the same, which makes it really, really unusual. So he took red paint, he painted the cabinet door. This is house paint. And that's another thing. We painted the background on this with house paint. Okay. Can you see it, Bobby?
Yeah.
See, each and every one of these are different. Like you see the rattle. This rattle is down here. You have to look at it real good. This rattle is up here towards his belt. This one's even higher than his belt. This one here is way above his belt. This one's hanging on his string. So if you look at each and every one of these, they look the same, but they're actually not. So each and every one of these dolls that he painted are different, which you never get this in one painting. Like you can see here that he has, like here it's missing this part here, which is this, and then this yarn that holds on his hand. See, this one's over here. This one's different. This is very unusual because if you look at each one of these, it almost looks the same, but his face are turning different little angles. Some are taller than the other one. The head of it are taller than each and every one. So you'd have to look even this foot. See, this foot's longer than this foot. This foot's round like that. This one is a whole different than that one. And even the fox tail is different on that one. And so every one of these are different. Even his hands are different. How wonderful is that?